Class is in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and TradeFly bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Round two. Let's try this again. Guys, we got a lot of news coming in today. The biggest one, Google don't like my content. All that and a whole lot more today on Piper Academy, guys. Let's get it. Classes in session. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm not sure what happened there. Google coding back and forth was not working on my end at all. It kicked us off the stream several times, but hey, we apologize. We're back here. We got news, we got charts, we got markets, and we got the alumni because you guys stuck around. So thank you all. Guys, let's go ahead and jump into the show. We got to catch up a lot of speed time today. So TradeFly, OC, welcome back again. How you guys doing?
Well, Piper, I'm doing great, and I figure I'd do the episode like this because that's how you sound. But I'm excited
goodness
to be
gracious. Here. Hey, it's okay. You know, things happen. It's Tech Tuesday, now it's Tech Thursday. I think what it is, it's the thumbnail. It's the thumbnail. Biden said, I'm telling the secrets of what's going on up there in Washington, D.C. Shut that show down. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. We've got a lot to go through today, so let me go ahead right off the bat. Let's get into the key stuff that we talk about, and then I want to get into a couple of articles, but we're going to do a little bit of shift, have TradeFly and OC kick off with the Dixie, the Bitcoin outlook and stuff like that right after I do this economic stuff so I can get up my articles again because I had to restart everything. I thought it was on my end. It was not. So let's get over there. Let's check out the news, guys. Jumping over into the news today. First, right off the bat, we got the Fear and Greed Index. Guys, we're down to 57. We're down to 57 now, and that's a pretty big deal. When you look at where we've been, we were at like in the 70s and 80s, or close to 80. And now we're down to 57, still sitting in greed, though, almost back to neutral. Let's jump over here and take a look at the crypto bubbles. We did have a little bit of activity today. It was green and then it went red. All of that coming off that economic data. We had jobs numbers come out this morning, so we're going to be taking a look at that. But right now, let's scroll down here, see how we're looking. It looks like Bitcoin sitting right now 62,260, up for the hour, down for the daily. Still seeing a lot of red, and we're going to be taking a look at those key numbers, see where we're at on support. But right now, Ethereum sitting at that support. That is at $3,000. Big movers today. Toncoin moving up to position number 8. Doge moving down to number 9. And then Polkadot making a one-move climb up to number 13 there. Looking like we're not quite recovered yet, guys. Jump over here to the economic calendar. Let's take a look at what happened here this morning. It's the initial jobless claims. This is unemployment. I talked about this yesterday. We came in neutral, did not hit that consensus, hit the forecast perfectly where we were at previously, 212,000. And as I've said before, typically when we have the numbers and they're not bad, the markets pull back. They don't do well. They want to see that labor, investors want to see the labor force get hurt a little bit so that they can go, okay, eventually the Fed's going to have to roll back on those rate hikes. And right now it's looking like we're not going to see any rate cuts this year, especially with the labor force being strong. So a little bit of sell-off in the markets this morning because of that. Also, this was an interesting one. The Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index came in at 15.5. Previously it was at 3.2. And I'm going to break this down in a second so you understand why this is important to know. But consensus was that would be at 1.5, forecast to be at 1.1. Let's jump in here and take a look at what this says about this data. The Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index rose 12 points to 15.5 in April 2024, well above market expectations of 1.5. It's the third consecutive positive reading and the highest since April 2022, with the indicators for new orders and shipments. So this is the manufacturing capability, the manufacturing plans, and the order loads that the manufacturing companies around the country have on order books. And so this was telling us that right now we have a very strong manufacturing capability. That affects supply. And that means it can possibly meet demand, which gives a little bit of hopium that we might see a reversal in that inflation number with this capability of manufacturing going on. So I wanted to point that out there and talk about that. Liquidations, guys, in the past 24 hours, 78,880 traders liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $246.9 million. Largest single liquidation order happened on OKX. It was for Bitcoin. It was 5.3 million. You can see here, longs, guys, longs continuing to get pummeled every time that they set them up. And I got a chart that I'm going to show you on that also. So that's what I got there. Let's jump back over there to the trio cam. What is up, TradeFly and OC? Are you guys ready to take the lead on some of these charts for the morning so I can get some news articles up? We had to reset. It's the big reset. You guys remember that? It's the big reset. Don't worry about it. Yeah, remember that.
We're ready, man. We're ready. I mean, the fear and greed index, that fell down. I think everybody was watching the opening there. So they were like, yep, I'm out.
Yep, so. I'm out. Deuces. All right, TradeFly, let's kick it over to you, man. We'll just do some charts, and I'll get these articles up.
Right on. So first thing we're going to look at is the liquidation heat map. All right. So we were, I believe this was yesterday. It was, I think we were talking about this area right about here. And that was a pretty quick move. So, I mean, it cleared out some liquidity that was there. It's kind of hard to see right now on the chart, but yeah, let's see time now. So you see it's getting hot right about here, about 63.2. That's kind of, we'll say, the alligator closest to the boat. And we did get a bounce, right? We were talking about that bounce. There's a support area. Showed you that, guys, yesterday on the charts. And that did coincide with where some of the liquidity was sitting. Cleared that out. And then now we're having a little bit of a reversal. So we'll kind of see if that holds up. But hey, the closest area right here is going to be really to the top side. There is still some liquidity down here, though, so don't be surprised if it comes back down to touch this area as well. So, but really, this is the hot spot that I'd be looking for first. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit and look at this on the 3-day. And yeah, most of the liquidity is to the top side. So that's probably good news if you want to see some movement to the upside if you're in a long position. And let's go ahead and go over to the Dixie real quick. Looking at that, I said there was a pretty key area that we were at, and that was at 106 and some change here. It was trying to find support in this area yesterday morning, and we were saying, hey, if it holds this area, then you could be looking for some movement up and right, which would ultimately be bad for Bitcoin. Well, what did we get? We got a breakdown, right? So it came down, it broke down, and then we got some movement to the upside for Bitcoin. Now we're retesting this area. So again, pretty key area for you guys to keep a look, or not a look at, but keep an eye on. And we're testing this area to see if we're now flipping what was support into resistance. If that happens, then what I'll see playing out there, if we actually get, let's say, a rejection there at that area for the Dixie, then that'll open up the opportunity to finally break this trend line. All right, I've been following this trend line for a few days now, and you can see it just keeps rejecting over and over and over again. It also kind of lines up with the 20-day, the 20 SMA on the 4-hour time frame. So again, we came down here, we found support in this area, and we talked about this. I had this one marked on the charts yesterday, right? Just kind of going back left on the chart. Where do we find support? Multiple touches in this area right here. This line right here, though, we were actually in the Discord yesterday, and we were kind of talking about it. I was talking with some of the guys there, and this line right here actually coincides. If you go way back left on the charts, we're talking about like previous all-time highs, and there was an area, there wasn't a close. Actually, I'll just go ahead and show it to you guys. I believe it was on the weekly. It was. There you go. So one of theirs I'm looking at here, right? So the first all-time high, you see, you got that wick up, but we never had a close over this lower support level. With support now, it was resistance, but now it's support. We never had a close over top of that, just looking at this area here. So I was like, let me take a look-see. You can see some wicks off of here. So it was acting as support and a big breakdown. Then a retest. All right, so look at that. I mean, that's one of the things that I always look for. Big breakdown, retest, and that's kind of a confirmation of a key area. Well, sure enough, this is why I love horizontal lines, is that's pretty much where we came down to with this most recent area. All right, so that's where we actually ended up finding support, was right there. So that's kind of why I like these horizontal lines. Now, what do we have to work with? All right, or work against really, is that trend line that's coming down and right, and then you have this volume area low. All right, both of these areas are going to act as resistance right now. So that kind of ties in with the Dixie key area right here. We want to see a rejection. We see that rejection. Maybe we can finally break through this area. If we don't, then if you see Dixie pump through this area, then you're likely to see Bitcoin break down and have another retest of this. So one of the setups that we were looking at, and even I was talking to Jenna X yesterday. She even noticed this, right? Almost like a triple divergence here on the prime oscillator. Which, if you watch some of the videos, they talk about it a little bit. They say that is probably one of their favorite things to look at is when you get multiple hits of this divergence here. You even got the reversal of trend. You got a peak seeker. I mean, you got everything here kind of showing you that we were due for a little bit of a reversal. So really a key area for us today with Bitcoin. Let's kind of cross our fingers, hope we break through this area, because if we do break through this area, then we can make a nice little move up, because then we'll get back into the range here of this volume area low and volume area high here, this range that you can see in the gray, kind of hard to see, but these two horizontal gray lines here. And then I would be looking for some kind of resistance in this area at about, we'll say 65.8, and somewhere around there. I could see a nice little push up to that. I'd say relatively easy. We just got to break this key area right now. So that's what I am looking at. That covered the liquidation heat map, the Dixie, the Bitcoin. I'll pass it over to OC, let him kind of go through a little bit of his TA. And
I'm good, actually. I'm good right now. Yeah. I'm actually going to show something real fast. I got all the articles up. I appreciate everything. We'll hand it right over to OC in just a second, but I do want to show one thing. What was that on the heat map? What was that lowest level you were looking at there of liquidity?
The lowest level, it depends if you're looking on the 3-day or if you're looking on
go on the higher time frame. Okay, I want to see that $50,000 range on your chart.
Oh, you want the zoomed out. All right, so I got to go to the 3-month for that. That's about 50,000 really is kind of the key area there. So right about here. So 50,400.
50,400. Guys, remember that number. We're going to take a look at that. That's going to be very important here in a moment. Let me go ahead and jump over here and show you guys one thing that I am watching here on the chart. I'm looking at the 4-hour on Bitcoin right now. And let's go ahead and turn off. Yeah, it's all off. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this over here. I'm going to show you guys a neat little trick here. We're going to go and grab a parallel channel, and we're going to peek this right there and right there. Can you grab it? Thank you very much. And we're going to bring this down to this peak here. Look at how these drops have been playing out in this channel first off. And it's from this, where we had the pullback and then the pump right there. This line, this channel is playing out amazing. I found this this morning, so there's that one. And you can see that right now we are hitting that 382 there on my fibs. I do still think that we could have lower to go. Still a bear. I'm taking TradeFly's role today, but there is something that I have on an article that I'm going to get to. Just remember that $50,400 level. OC, I just wanted to show that real fast. Let's kick it over to you, see what you're seeing on Bitcoin, and then we'll get into some of this news and some more TA.
Absolutely. What I'm seeing in Bitcoin here is pretty clear. I don't know if you guys can see it very well there. I don't know. But let's see. I have my open entry right there. As you can see, I take it as soon as I open. I did stuck with 3x instead of going back to 5x. But guys, hopefully you did enter, because remember our setup in fact was lower. It was at 60K 453. I FOMO'd in right before entering here. I was FOMOing in right on the live class on Chart Prime right next with Alex O Crypto. Shout out to the other there. And I also gave this entry right here on the Piper's Academy. So hopefully, guys, you did catch that easy money entry. So we're going back. There we go. Let me just get that out of the way, because I'm going to be reusing it for the late class today. And we are right here already into the trade. And we're doing fantastic. Not only that, we're going against the course. So, guys, you know what that means. That means time to get a little bit of that money back to our pockets. So I will be reclaiming 50% out on my entry. We also remember that I jumped in here with half of my position, 1.5% of that entry, and then also had a stop loss entry, secondary entry with a second part of my position with another 1.5. I'm gonna still have this 1.5 open, but my stop loss, it's already at entry right down here, right up here, and I will be taking 50% out. So shout out for you guys. And whether if it's going up or down, we'll see right now on this other next chart that I have for you guys. So going up or down, well, let's see if TradingView wants to work for me.
Come on, TradingView, you can do it.
So, I know. struggling.
You poor
All right, so
pussy.
it is because TradeFly and Ami Piper didn't got their hot, warm cup of blood. I mean, coffee today in the morning. So, I know, pretty bad joke. So we're going, we're below the zero line here. We're pretty bearish. We are on higher consolidation, going into consolidation. That means that we could be seeing a little bit more sideways action here. That is exactly what I want to see right before we start breaking the trend line there. Maybe a little bit of like this wick, like the redemption wick that I see here. Maybe something going back like that, and then finally breaking through. We have another area right here that I was looking at, or that I'm looking at for a previous resistance, not only because we have the great line there, but also because we have low volume and high outcomes. So if we can get to this area right here, we might be able to just break through a little bit and then make the push, because I believe that the dynamic reactor will be also right there. And some also, guys, a little golden nugget here. We have dynamic reactor very, very, very thin, almost non-existent. So that means the volume area we have to break through, it is very, very wimpy, very thin. It is almost a guarantee if we can make the momentum breakup of the zero line, that will be amazing for us to break onto that dynamic reactor. Being above dynamic reactor, that is the way to go. I know I've been prolonged a little bit, but also we have a poll like where we're gonna have a pump or a dump. Guys, we haven't had the pre-halving dump, just so you know. Neither sometimes the post-halving dump. We're still within the same range that I've been preaching about for over 2 months. We haven't broken that range, so be careful. We can still have that rollover of the price and go visit TradeFly's areas right here at 52,800. So that's it, what I got on Bitcoin, guys. Turning it back to you.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man. So yeah, hey guys, shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. Got Investing Bros just dropped in. So shout out to Investing Bros. You guys see anybody else in there? TradeFly that you want to give a shout out to besides the entire alumni, but TradeFly, Investing Bros dropped in. So I just wanted to give them a shout out. Guys, who you see there, TradeFly?
Oh, let's go down. I got old Mark Dutch in there. Alex, so my twinsy, what's up, my guy? Wearing the shades. And yeah, by the way, Alex, he was doing his TradeFly imitation yesterday on Chart Prime. So game on, my friend. Game on. Karma. I got you, dog. So
that's
look
beautiful.
out.
I love it.
C90 for the win. French Toaster. Hola, my friend. How you doing? Trade Intuition. Joe's on here. Crux of Crypto. He's on here. Always doing the work in the background. We really, really appreciate you. And I'm going to make you come back on the show. I haven't said it recently. Andy Lee, how you doing? Been seeing you a lot lately. Alexander G. Let's see. Who else? Scrolling. I saw Mr. J in here earlier. Already called him. I froze you. I haven't seen you before. What's up, my friend? Mike
Jenna X is in the house.
Recently. Jenna X?
Yeah.
Lady, how you doing? Dave P. All right. Justin Eubanks. Scrolling Lou. And Gia S. Blackie Chan, how you doing? There you go. I think I hit most of you. If I didn't, call me on the chat. I will get you later. I promise.
So Chef T Fresh Ada said Investing Bros sent him over here. So welcome to Piper Academy, man. I got this article. So it's interesting about that liquidation range that you said 50,400. Bitcoin to trigger $15 billion in liquidations if this happens. Guys, this number, if we go down here, renowned crypto trader analyst Ali Martinez has outlined a crucial level for Bitcoin that will see it hit over $15 billion in liquidations. If it happens, analyst projections comes on the heels of this recent market downturn. Analyst highlights $50,500 as a crucial level for Bitcoin. Analyst illustrated a chart that more than $15 billion in liquidations would occur on the Binance market alone if Bitcoin drops down to that level. It would be a market bloodbath. It said it is worth noting that the implications of Bitcoin seeing liquidations over 15 billion in Binance alone would ignite huge implications, not just for the cryptocurrency, but for the entire crypto market. This could exert pressure on the market, leading to further decline in prices. And he's using that same beautiful data that you get there every day from TradeFly. He's using that, talking about that $50,539 level, 15.
He's watching the show. He's got to be watching the show. We've been talking about it for months.
Exactly. So there you go. $50,500 would trigger a massive waterfall of blood. So, OC, do you see Bitcoin getting down to $50,500?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying that we're going to get
Absolutely.
there. But
Let's go.
Who's the bear
Let's
now?
roll some heads there. Well, I mean, if we're going to get to $500,000 Bitcoin, we need a healthy retracement, don't we? I mean, I do see it there. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I mean, I want to hold my my chances. I want to see first breaking the range with a big candle all the way to 57,958. If we get to 58, I mean, I will be saying, yes, we're going to get to 50. If we break this range, yes, we're going to get to 50, 51 or 52, 50-ish areas, right? So that is almost a certainty for me. But, I mean, I'm alone. So at this point, I believe that we still have a little bit more to the upside and moving my stop to enter. So, I mean, the story tells itself, right?
Yep, absolutely. Jump over here and look at my chart, guys. If we were to go down to that $50,500 range, I would think at that point, honestly, if we were to come down to 50,500, that would be right in that area. We might as well just go down and hit the 786 on this fibs. That would be $48,600 Bitcoin. I'm just saying, if it's going to go there, why not go there and hit a major support level? Of course, these fibs pulled all the way from the candle close of the all-time high to the candle close of the all-time, the local bottom here of the bear market, looking at a weekly chart here. So every candle is 1 week. So my question would be, if it's going to go that low, why not the 786 at 48,600? Is that a thing? Do you think that's possible? Let's see what's your opinion on that. And TradeFly, I'd love to hear. Do you think anything about 48,000? Does $48,600 trigger anything in your emotional sector there, the brain?
Just off the mention of it, I mean, I don't know. I'm looking right now to see if there's any kind of like horizontal areas. So there is one, it looks like horizontal area of, support and resistance way back. But no, I mean, like initially, no. So I'm kind of looking at my chart right now. Oh, you got it up. Sweet. So one thing I've been following is a channel, right? This kind of up and right movement overall. So you take high to high, you draw kind of a line all the way across. But I did basically 2 horizontal channels, and I've been following this. And the reason is because, like, look at this, right? So you see the highs, you see the support right here. I could very, very much see at a minimum us pulling back to this area and testing this area as support, which just depends on the time frame and when it actually gets down there, but it could be somewhere around like 55,000. But what I'm really like looking at as well, look at this, right? Look how this area was like resistance and then it took off. You had that explosive movement to the upside, which keys me in on this area. But 48.6, I don't think that really triggers much for me. You had this one spike up where you got rejected, but even so, the support in this area was a little bit higher as well. I think 50 is kind of my big thing, but if we get down to 50 and we have a big pullback, that cascading effect, 48.6 is well within play, right? I mean, that's small potatoes when you're already down to 50,000. But in terms of like it just being one of those areas that I have marked, not really for me.
Awesome. Yeah. So if I jump over here on my chart, we take a look. This is 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. If we take a look at these 2 points here, this bottom that we had here to this top, and replace those fibs, I've already got them built for you. So let me just turn those on. Take a look at that $50,500 level. It's the golden pocket, guys. That's typically where we get bounces after pullbacks. It would be the golden pocket from this level, the previous low to the all-time high there. So that would be literally $50,514 is where that golden pocket's coming in at there. You can see here previous support level that we had there, also lining up beautifully with that fib sequencing. So yeah, I could absolutely see that, and it's ugly. It's ugly, but guys, it's if we take a look at what that would be here from the all-time high, let's put that on there down to that level. That would be a 31% pullback, which is a typical halving pullback, guys. We just haven't seen it yet. The biggest one we'd have was in January. It's 21% pullback. And right now, we're sitting at about a total of about a 19% pullback. So there's still about 10% run on a typical pullback that we could see, and that would literally put it right there in the golden pocket at that $50,500 level. Still looking at that 56K is where I call, but it absolutely could continue to go down. So I got one article. We're going to do this, and then we're going to finish out the show with some quick TA, rapid fire TA that you guys want to put out, because we had a little bit of a technical issue this morning. But let's go ahead and jump over to this article, because I want to talk about this, but we're going to set it up first. You know, it's one of those days that you're sitting there, you're wanting to go do something, pull out some money and put it into, transfer it over to gold, or you decide, hey, Bitcoin's at 50,500. There's that level TradeFly was talking about. You go to your bank account. I'm going to do my transfer over to Coinbase, and then Coinbase says transfer failure, deposit failure. And so you go back over to your bank and you're like, did it even try to go through? And there's a notification little up there in your bell, and you click that bad boy and it says, your funds have been frozen. Now that's enough to make it a very panicking moment, right? But this is not out of reality, and somebody's actually talking about this right now. Bob Unruh. Now, keep in mind, source on this is WND. They're a little bit right-wing extremist, and and I have nothing against right wing or left wing, but I do have an issue when it comes to bias on extremist mindsets. But this is a reality. This is not. It's happened before. There's an act that the administration can do and Congress can do to make this happen. And this individual's talking about it. It says U.S. may freeze bank withdrawals as currency fears arise. Experts warn. And an expert in economics is warning that Biden administration is looking at ways to lock down your checking account, literally banning withdrawals from the banking system. Team Biden has installed in power in the federal government already have moved to force you to buy an electric car, limiting the kinds of appliances you can buy, censored the questions you can raise about fair elections on social media, so on and so forth, and much more. Now, the next step could be your bank account. According to the macroeconomics guru Hugh Hendry, a report at the Daily Hodl explained Hendry was in an interview with Bloomberg Markets when the question of mass panic and capital flight came up. He said the moves away from the U.S. banking system, which have recently been seen, several major institutions failing and stuff, it's a justified move. The report explains, Hendry says further decline in the M2 money supply, and we're going to take a look at that chart in just a second, which in part tracks money in liquid checking accounts, could convince the U.S. government to step in and prevent citizens from taking their capital out of the banking system. Sometimes it's kind of relevant to panic. I don't disagree with them there. That could reach the crescendo where the Treasury and the Fed may have to come in and actually restrict your right as a U.S. citizen to pull your money out of the U.S. banking sector. Let's jump over, check out that M2 chart, and I'll show you guys what he is talking about there. Because when I went and looked at it after reading that article, I was a little shocked how bad it really is. So this is a monthly chart on M2 real money. This is cash that is not on loans. This isn't money being loaned out. This is money being withdrawn versus deposited in the federal banking system. And you can see here we go up here and look at this again. This is monthly. Like back in let's see here, September through December, we topped out here. We have had a drastic drop since January of 2022. So over 2 years now, money has just been flowing out of the banking system. We can come back over here and talk about this, but I wanted to show that chart because for 2 years, money is leaving the banks. It is going into things like treasury bonds. It is going into things like stocks because they're astronomically running up. It is going into things like groceries and home costs and, insurance increases because people can't keep money in the bank if they're paying out more. They're seeing a massive flush, but a lot of that money that is flushing out of the banking system, the banking sector, is literally going into a lot of investments where people are making money instead of a bank making money. So could you see, and keep in mind, we've had 2 major events where money valuation was frozen by the U.S. government. One, the bank run during the Great Depression for 7 days, the presidency and the Congress approved that you could not withdraw money for 7 days in the United States, right during the beginning of the Great Depression. Banks froze all your money. You could not withdraw anything. They also did something similar in the 70s. In the 70s, they made it illegal to hold gold, and they literally went around and collected up people's gold because they passed no one could own gold in the 70s. It's happened. Something similar has happened twice. Guys, is this a reality? Could we see something like this where the money supply in the banks is threatening those regional banks and then your mid-level banks so much that they freeze withdrawing into things that aren't for bills and stuff like that? Like TradeFly, you want to buy Bitcoin at $50,500? Well, I'm sorry, we need your money in the bank. TradeFly, we'll go to you first. What are your thoughts on this, man?
But Piper, I thought there was an unlimited money supply. There was a printer. Everybody keeps talking about that. The government just keeps printing money. How is this possible?
It hasn't helped some like Silicon Bank yet. So
yeah. I mean, so could I see it happen? I guess. I think the odds are low, to be like perfectly frank with you. But yeah, people are moving their money off because they see bank runs, like you said, and then people are getting smarter. Everyone is talking about different areas or different places they can put their money in and earn 5%. It's everywhere, dude. It's savings. There's savings accounts. You could do it on, what's the one brokerage? Robinhood. You can do it on Coinbase with USDC. There's so many opportunities for you to collect easy money, like 5%. Like it's there for the taking. Why not?
5.25 on Robinhood right now.
So there it is. Like, why would you let it just sit at a bank? I mean, and technically you kind of are by letting it sit in a brokerage account, but still here nor there, because they're just holding your money and they're doing stuff with it. But regardless, like, yeah, it's silly to just leave your money in a bank, and people, they're getting nervous. They're getting scared, so yeah, I don't know. And inflation adds on to it. Like there's a lot of reasons not to keep your money in a bank. Every time somebody says they're sitting on capital, I tell them you're dumb, and I'm like, hey, you can put it somewhere and collect 5%. Why not stack your capital while you're waiting? So
you basically tell them F your feelings.
No, I don't. Not so much, but kind of.
Oh, see, you have a unique perspective down in Mexico. What are your thoughts on this about the government freezing your ability to get access to your money? What have you seen anything like that in Mexico ever before in your history? And then secondly, what are your thoughts on this happening in the U.S.?
Well, not exactly. I've seen something like that specifically, but I have seen something worse. Guys, remember, we have the pesos and now we have the new pesos. You might not know about this, but we basically just out of thin air removed like 3 zeros out of our coins. So, I mean, if that is not a big scam, I don't know what is, right? So just be careful, guys, because when the States, and I'm talking about the rest of the world, especially Latin, right, Latin America, when we see the States having that kind of restrictions, I mean, we know we're gonna have it hard, right? In the past, I mean, Piper have talked about this. My family got out of one of these huge bad situations because because we held a little bit of gold, and that helped us through it, right? On my case, I believe that right now the new gold, it is Bitcoin because of ease of usage. And not only that, who is going to, yeah. And also, I mean, in here, the banks, they can restrict the sell and buy of gold, right? I mean, how do you get gold other than Costco now, right? Could move there, Costco, and also the banks. I mean, I need to admit it. I mean, I was
Costco, the new bank
gold
deposit.
yeah. Holy Jesus. Yeah. And then, I mean, they can restrict the price of gold, but how are they going to be restricting the price of Bitcoin on the open markets, right? You only need something like a VPN, something like maybe Starlink to do a change of DNS, and then a change, and use Tor, like that secure browser. And also then on top of that, use a how you call this thing that changes your IP location, that thing. VPN.
VPN.
So and then you're golden. You can sell and buy your assets. Like, bear in mind, if you're holding dollars, who owns those dollars? U.S. government. If you hold pesos, Mexican pesos, who owns those pesos? Mexican government. They will not hesitate to have that control.
The cartel owns those pesos.
Yeah. Oh yes. They do. They freaking do. So another thing that I've seen is Mexico freezing accounts, right? For not for retiring things and stuff like that. So that is scary. So other than that, I mean, it's time to start looking forward for an open economy. I mean, it's not go all the way out, guys. Also divide your capital. Rule number one in investment, and it's not OC saying it. Everywhere else, it's been said. It is divide your investments, right? Diversify. So I think that's the most secure part to do so, and go for the most secure ones, and then go for a little bit of the risky ones, because the only way to go risky, I mean, to make money for the real thing, it's cut things early, and that involves a risk. And by the way, our middle banks are offering at this point, and I have it open. Let me just look at it. It is a 14.75% of annualized by just getting your money on bank. So,
well, I will tell you, we have nothing like that in the United States. Our banks, we're lucky if we get 0.001%. So not even a full 1%.
I'm just saying, maybe you can open up
a tenth of a percent.
Maybe you can open up a Mexican account.
Maybe so. Move to Cozumel. Let's go. We're taking over the island. All right, let's get into some charts, guys. We are getting a little bit of movement on Bitcoin, and it's looking pretty juicy right now. So let's go ahead, TradeFly. Let's kick it over to your chart and take a look at some alts.
All right, cool. So this will be pretty quick. I was looking at Avalanche. I was looking at a bunch of alts, to be honest with you, going through. But look, hey, came down the golden pocket. What more do we need to say? 200-day SMA on the actual daily. So look at that. It's just holding right over top. We got that wick down, but that's just kind of a, I don't know, scam wick, I think. And that was because it was falling, it was crashing so hard. You see a lot of the alts, they had those big wicks on the downside here, but it has recovered. And, it's holding this area, especially over the 200-day SMA. So let's come down here and look at the prime oscillator. You can see 2 wicks down. It did come down. Not exactly what I would like to see. You do want to see this oscillator get back up and right, show a little bit more strength. You kind of like to see like a trend up and right, vice coming down to the same area, but you got an indication of oversold there. So we are due for, I'd say, a little bit of a reversal on Avalanche, but of course that is going to be contingent on Bitcoin breaking out, which it seems like it might be doing. I'd have to go back and look at the chart to see where we're at right now with Bitcoin. But hey, this could be an opportunity. You come down, you hit the golden pocket. That traditionally has been a pretty key area for most of these altcoins. You can see here, last time it came down to this golden pocket, look, we had a very nice move up and right. Let's go ahead and measure it out. I'll just take the top of the golden pocket here. And I mean, look how high. That went up 100%. Not saying it's going to do that, but what I am saying is it is a key area. The other thing you want to look at here, just real quick, is look, you got higher highs and I got higher lows. Let me go ahead and make this one a little bit. It does kind of make like a broadening wedge there, but regardless, it's still higher. All right, and if you want to go by the close, I know LBC is big on that one. If you want to talk closes, still it's a higher low, right? So ultimately, still a bullish trend. All right, it's not a bad thing to come back down here and set a higher low. So could see some movement up and right. I would say until we break this trend, the overall, Avalanche is still bullish on the daily at least. So pretty quick look at Avalanche. Pass it back over to you guys.
Oh, see what you got for us, brother.
All right, I got NOS, but also before going just straight to NOS, I want to go over very quick. Atom playing out very nice, Near playing out very nice, and I want you guys to look at the similarities. The similarities is basically dumping, making the little range, and we have a little bit of higher, or I am expecting those trends to play out, right? The same thing happens here. The same thing happened, well, not on Bitcoin, on Solana, right? So just getting back on NOS, we have a much more reactive action here. Instead of being a flat range, we have a much more obvious, there we go, trend line that we've been respecting. And something important, it is that, look at that, almost exactly what I was expecting. And we don't have the bearish divergence I was expecting, but we do have this rollover area right down here breaking to the zero line. We still bearish, remember. And I mean, I don't see, where is my dynamic reactor? Let's see, let me just zoom in. I don't see it, my dynamic reactor. Oh, here we go. We're technically below dynamic reactor. In this case, the volume is so low on NOS that the dynamic reactor is not able to separate from the assets price, right? You need to be careful on this kind of assets because you don't have a clear picture of when things are going to be bouncing like with clarity, at least not for me. Why? Because for me, the dynamic reactor is one of the most important areas. So what is up next if you're looking at NOS? And what am I talking about NOS? Because NOS was popping up here on the crypto bubble right next to Near, one of the bigger gainers throughout this week, right? And not because they appear to be a bigger gainer means that they're actually making a huge pump. You look at Near, right? So that means that yes, we're moving, but the amount of money, the volume money that we have here at Coin, it is different. So do not let sometimes crypto bubbles fool you. All right. And entry points, I do have my alert at crossing 3006. That is because we have an elongation of this trend channel, right? And I am looking also at this golden line. So still not all bearish. I mean, if we have a breakout, most likely we're going to go here and we still have a chance for a bounce. And then if we see flip of the ribbon, I know we're going to be breaking back above this trend line. So just be careful with this trend line. Just be careful with NOS. I know NOS has been big throughout this couple of months. So be warned right there.
Awesome. We had a request for Vet, Tesla, and what else there? Caspa. I'll go ahead and knock out Caspa if one of you guys want to take Tesla and VeChain. And then that should wrap us out here. I'm going to jump over to Caspa right now on the chart here. Guys, taking a look at Caspa, we did get our support levels here, right here at that 5.618. That's been multiple tests there, little wicks down below it, but for the most part, we're still holding there. I am still watching. I got this resistance block right here coming in at that phase 6 golden pocket. That's going to be 12.8 cents. We are also on the oscillator right now, hitting on that zero line, and we're getting really tight here. When we have a tight cloud like this on the Oscillator Pro, sitting in that middle, it can go either way, so just be advised. Caspa not looking overly strong yet, but at least it is holding this level down here at 11.2 cents. That's what I have there. That was really quick. Let me show you guys what happened on Render. I talked about this last week, and I find it very interesting because we were losing this over here on Friday, the golden pocket. And I said, watch for us to come down to the 786 and then pull back up. If we do, look for us to find support. And if we find support, we're likely, and that's where this line is right here coming from. I said, we're likely heading back up to the 50. If we get rejected there, then that would be my take profit. And that's what happened. It played out perfectly. Right now, though, Render holding in that golden pocket. It looks like we did a nice retest and could be heading back up. Potential long setup on Render. Let's kick it over to you, TradeFly. See what you got there.
Right on. Yeah, I got Tesla. I'm on the 4 hour right now. You can see, I mean, arguably, you're looking at a massive, like, symmetrical triangle. You do have support, right? So a series of, we'll say 2 touches at least. We haven't really got confirmation of this third one, but 2 touches at least saying that, hey, you're setting higher lows. This could be that third hit right here. You could get squeezed and then see a breakout. Which side is going to go? I'm not sure. But looking at this, you have a lot more hits on this trend line, basically pushing the price down, right? So if you're scaling out and you're really looking at it, I would say still bullish structure, but going back to, we'll say, man, that's actually pretty far back. It's a lot further back than I was thinking. So that's November of 21 right there. So, I mean, I can't even really call that short term. That's a really long time. This is tough, right? Because you're getting a series of lower highs. Yeah,
I could see that come down a little bit lower to that top, to that 786 there, just in time for the 23rd, because the 23rd. What's that?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. And then
the 23rd is the earnings report for Tesla of this month. So,
yeah, yep.
And that would be a double bottom with the earnings report coming in. So,
I see that as well. I guess the thing that I'm going to be looking at. Let's look on the weekly. I want to see what kind of strength we have going into this hit here, because it is the golden pocket. Like if you're going from like essentially zero all the way to top, it's a massive fib retracement. But regardless, like this could be a really key area that it's at right now to find some support here. And like I said, it kind of aligns with this trend line. So you could see a bounce, and then check that out. This is the weekly. All right. So you're getting actually some divergence on the weekly, right? So, and this is the good kind. This is just regular bullish divergence on the weekly, price coming down, but then you can see RSI is starting to go up and right. So I don't know. I mean, like Piper said, it could come down here. You could get that double bottom, but it may not be, a bad area to really look for a long position on Tesla, like where it's at right now. I mean, I'd say it's probably a little bit risky going into the earnings report. I don't know what the news is on Tesla right now. I know it's been overall kind of negative, probably over the last like 6 months, but I don't know. I mean, Tesla at 155 doesn't sound so bad when it was at 400. So,
no, and if you're buying stocks like Tesla, you're probably looking at long-term hold. It's definitely not a bad level to buy at, but I would definitely, me personally, I would definitely be looking at putting in a limit order on that platinum pocket there. So,
yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. But at the same time, like if you see a reaction off of this golden pocket and you see it kind of bounce up, that could be enough for you to say this might be an opportunity to go long.
Not financial advice.
No, opportunities.
Awesome. All right, OC, heading your way, man. What you got?
Absolutely. So VeChain, I was looking at the 4 hour because it's looking very, very interesting. And I do have a little bit of a range in here. We do have a little bit of a range. Let's go watch this range just played out. Where is it? Come on. Where are you?
You were just on it. Regression trend.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Thank you. Regression trend. You know what I'm thinking.
Yes, I do.
We got this beautiful movement. And then we haven't failed below this area. We have had a couple of fake outs, so nothing that major. But then I start looking like at the 4 hours. So we're pushing the limits of what I'm going to be saying here. But I think that is worth taking a look at because we are riding on the dynamic reactor. So we either make or break, right? Another important thing is that I'm looking at this movement from all the way up here to down here, and if I go for the center of that movement, it's somewhere around here, so not that far from the center of the movement. And if we take a look at where we have the previous kind of like a resistance, it was all the way close to this area where we have this hiccup here, change of candle, where we are right now holding. Yes, we are below the zero line, but as we can see, we've been ranging so far. So so far, since we have this bounce, we need to go and cross above the zero line before I turn back bullish. Nonetheless, at these areas, I'll be still hold a little bit. And for a DCA entry, I will be looking for this area right here at 0.36, 35, 37, somewhere around these areas right down here. Guys, remember this DCI entry, and this is not financial advice. It goes for over 1 year. If you're willing to hold it for that long, well, then you're good to go with your first or at least one of your DCA entries. Remember, a DCA implies that you are going to be buying this same asset on upcoming dates, whether if it's above or below. So just be careful with this one. Looking not good at all. I mean, looking very good, to be honest, not bad at all. But we are on break or make. So yeah, turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Hey, shout out to Alex, though. He's finding out the gender of his baby today, if it's a boy or a girl. So he asked what everyone thinks. I think it's going to be a baby otter. Just so you know, but good luck, and all I ask is that it's a healthy baby. That's all. I don't care if it's a boy or a girl. We'll take a girl because we know you're going to get her into crypto, and if you get her into crypto, there's more girls in crypto. We need more female representation in the crypto world over here. So shout out to everybody that joined us today. Thank you for having a little bit of faith that we get this stream back up and running. But TradeFly OC, what do you got for the people on the way out, man?
Hey, as always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for bearing with us. Thanks for getting through the scary monster that was Army Piper this morning. And look forward to doing this again tomorrow. So you guys have a great weekend. And Bitcoin's breaking out, by the way. The trend line is broken. So
nice.
Good news.
Nice. Let's go. OC, what you got for us, bro?
All right, I do. I'm gonna go ahead and guess the gender, and I believe it's gonna be a scalper. Although I'm gonna be pushing and praying for it to be a holder. So whatever it is, I believe it's gonna be right with his dad right there, being a trader. So other than click that like button, because if you did click that like button, the stream will go on and will not grow. So don't believe me, click it now and see it playing out tomorrow. So thank you guys, and turning it back to you.
Awesome, man. Guys, thanks for joining us today on Piper Academy. If you guys did not do so yet and you guys enjoyed this content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. 48% of our viewers on this channel are not subscribed, so fix that. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, guys. Tomorrow, big day. Tomorrow, Bitcoin halving. You may have heard about it. So join us tomorrow morning, right back here, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Till then, trade safe, and as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, former Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude.